April 15th, 2013, started as a day of celebration but ended in chaos and heartbreak. The Boston Marathon bombing shook the world, but in the face of terror, ordinary people became heroes. This is the story of a city's resilience, the power of unity, and the triumph of the human spirit. Let's dive into the Boston Marathon bombing, a day of terror and triumph. The Boston Marathon bombing, a day of terror and triumph. April 15th, 2013, was supposed to be a day of celebration. The Boston Marathon, one of the world's most iconic races, brought together thousands of runners and spectators from around the globe. But in an instant, the joy turned to terror. 2 bombs exploded near the finish line, shattering lives and shaking a city to its core. Yet, amid the chaos and devastation, stories of courage, resilience, and unity emerged. This is the story of the Boston Marathon bombing, a day of terror, but also a day of triumph. The Boston Marathon is the world's oldest annual marathon, dating back to 1897. It's a symbol of endurance, determination, and community. Every year, runners from all walks of life gather to test their limits, cheered on by thousands of spectators. But in 2013, the marathon became the target of a horrific act of terrorism. The bombers, later identified as brothers Tamerlan and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, planted 2 pressure cooker bombs near the finish line. Their motives were rooted in extremist ideologies, but their actions would ultimately fail to break the spirit of Boston. At 2:49 p.m., as runners crossed the finish line, the first bomb exploded. Seconds later, a second bomb went off just a block away. The blasts killed 3 people: Crystal Campbell, Martin Richard, and Lou Lindsay, and injured more than 260 others. The scene was chaotic, with smoke, screams, and debris filling the air. But amid the horror, ordinary people became heroes. First responders, medical personnel, and even bystanders rushed to help the injured, saving countless lives. The city of Boston quickly mobilized, setting up emergency response centers and providing support to victims and their families. In the days following the bombing, investigators worked tirelessly to identify the perpetrators. Surveillance footage revealed the Tsarnaev brothers placing the bombs. A massive manhunt ensued, culminating in a dramatic shootout in Watertown, Massachusetts. Tamerlan Tsarnaev was killed during the confrontation, while Dzhokhar fled. The city was placed on lockdown as law enforcement conducted a door-to-door search. Finally, on April 19th, Dzhokhar was found hiding in a boat in a backyard. His capture brought a sense of relief, but the scars of the bombing would remain. The Boston Marathon bombing left a deep impact on the city and the nation. But in the face of tragedy, Boston showed its strength. The phrase "Boston Strong" became a rallying cry, symbolizing the city's resilience and unity. Survivors, many of whom lost limbs, underwent grueling recoveries, supported by their families and communities. The following year, the marathon returned with record numbers of participants and spectators. It was a powerful statement. Terrorism would not defeat the spirit of Boston. In 2015, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev was found guilty on 30 charges, including the use of a weapon of mass destruction. He was sentenced to death, though his legal battles continue. The trial brought closure to some, but for others, the pain remains. The bombing also sparked important conversations about security, terrorism, and the resilience of communities. Today, the Boston Marathon stands as a testament to the strength of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, hope and courage can prevail. The Boston Marathon bombing was a day of unimaginable terror, but it was also a day of triumph. From the first responders who risked their lives to survivors who refused to be defined by their injuries, the story of Boston is one of resilience and hope. As we remember the victims and honor the heroes, let us also celebrate the strength of community that came together in the face of adversity. What does Boston Strong mean to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more powerful stories of courage and resilience. Until next time, stay strong.